So the other day, last Saturday, a few days ago, last Saturday, I was in the shower, right? And, I was washing, shampooing, all that kind of stuff, right? And I happened to notice right below my belly button, right below my belly button, a little bit further down than my belly button, but below my belly button, we'll just say that, right? There was a really big, like, freckle, right? Kind of like a birthmark, kind of like a really big freckle, kind of like a really big mole, right? And I'd never noticed it before because, you don't often look down there, right? And this was quite concerning because if you guys don't know, a lot of people have freckles, right? A lot of people have birthmarks. A lot of people have moles. But if it starts growing, if it starts getting big, or if it starts getting weird, or if it starts changing colors, it can actually turn into skin cancer. And so I was in the shower and I'm looking down and there's like a giant like freckle. Like a giant, like just like a giant brown spot, right? And I'm like, that wasn't there before, right? So I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go get this looked at. So I called the dermatologist. I went in this morning and didn't really know what to expect, right? Because I've never really had anything like this done before. How big was it? How big was it? That's a good question. How big was it? It was a little bit bigger than a pencil eraser. It was like a pencil eraser, and half of another one. So like it was maybe like two pencil erasers. It was pretty big. It was pretty big. So anyway, I woke up this morning. I went to the dermatologist. I sit down in the chair. You know how embarrassing it is? Because, like, again, it's not like this is on my back or my arm or anything. It's below, it's below my belly button and a little bit further down than that. All right, we'll just put it like that, right? And so I'm sitting here in the doctor's office. I'm sitting here in the dermatologist. And I'm like, oh my God, this is about to be so like, this is gonna be embarrassing, right? This is gonna be crazy. So like the doctor comes in and the doctor looks at it, right? And she's like, you got two options. We can either take a picture of it and hope that it doesn't grow in 3 months. In which case, if it did grow, I'd have to get it, removed. Or we can go ahead and cut it out right here, right now. And I was like, okay. So I can either, the dermatologist was Anyway, and I was like, So we can either remove the giant freckle that may or may not turn into skin cancer. Like we can take a picture of it, see what it looks like in 3 months, or we can just straight up remove it, right? Just to be safe. And so I was like, let's go ahead and let's remove it. Let's just cut it out right here, right now. Right? And she's like, okay. So there's like this giant freckle. We'll just say it's near my thigh. All right. Giant like freckle mole near my thigh. We're going to cut it out right here, right now. Right? Now, in my head, I was thinking, oh, she's going to put some numbing cream on it. And then she's going to like freeze it off or something, because that's how you get rid of moles, right? This lady pulls out a needle this big. Oh! and just pulls out a needle that big. And I'm like, you gonna put it. Oh my God. And so I'm sitting there in the chair and I'm like, oh my God, she's about to stab me with the needle in a place underneath my belly button that's a little bit further down than my belly button. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. And like, I'm like, okay, all right, keep it together. She puts this numbing like stuff in it. I think it's called like what's it called? Something cane. It starts with an N and it ends in cane. It's like numbing stuff, right? So they inject it under your skin and then it numbs the area, right? So I'm sitting there and it's not there. It's like right by my thigh. All right. It's like the crevice right by your thigh. That's where it was. Okay. And so like this lady, I'm sitting here and she sticks a needle right in between like the little crevice in between my thigh. Novocaine, that's it. That's what it was. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, dude. And I'm like this. I'm like, and she's like, sir, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And bro, she keeps going, and I'm like, I didn't pass out. We're good. So she takes the needle out. I'm like, oh my God. And then and then she's like, all right, we're gonna leave it like that for a minute. I'll be right back. So I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there. I'm just like, great. This is awesome. This is fantastic. I love this. This is great. She comes back in. And I'm like, bro, how is she gonna like freeze this thing off? Bro, she didn't freeze it off. This lady pulls out a scalpel. I'm like, oh my God, dude. And she literally just like cuts it out. And I'm like, she cuts it out with a scalpel. And then that was it. She put a Band-Aid on it. And she was like, leave the Band-Aid on it. Don't, leave it alone for like a week. Don't go swimming for like a week. I was like, I don't go outside anyway. That's not a problem. Be careful washing it, that kind of thing, right? And they got to send it in for a biopsy. So they cut it off of me. And they got to send it in for a biopsy, the mole freckle birthmark thingy. So in 14 days, they're going to call me and they're going to be like, well, here's what it is. So hopefully it's normal, in which case everything's great, not a problem. But if it's not normal, if it is like precancerous or cancerous, I have to go back in and they have to cut out even more of the area. So, yeah, hopefully it's good. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's good. She said she thinks it's fine, but they're gonna biopsy it anyway, just to be safe. You know what I mean? But then, you know what she says? She's like, "How old are you again?" And I'm like, 27. And she's like, "Well, people over 25 should probably get like yearly, full body mole checks." And I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" And she's like, "So you come in, and we look at every we look at every part of your body to make sure there's no moles that are like weird or anything. And if they are, we cut them off." And I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." So in October, I got to go back to the doctor and I gotta get a full body mole exam I gotta get a full body mole exam to make sure everything's good. Yeah. So that's what's going on in my life right now. Yeah, that's what's going on in my life right now. Oh man, now you guys know. You know what I mean? Now you guys know. Good Lord. So I've had a crazy morning. Let's just say that I've had a crazy morning. You should live stream it, bro. What in the world are you talking about, man?